You see, most people run from pressure. The moment life gets tough, the moment things get uncertain, they start to shrink. They say, "It's too much. I can't handle it." But let me tell you something, pressure isn't your enemy. Pressure is your privilege. It's the fire that forges greatness. It's the weight that builds your strength. It's the test that shows the world and, more importantly, shows you what you're truly made of. When you feel pressure, it means something is at stake. It means you've been entrusted with a challenge, an opportunity, a responsibility that matters. Think about it. No one puts pressure on the ones who aren't in the game. No one criticizes the person sitting in the stands. Pressure only shows up for the ones playing on the field, the ones chasing something greater than comfort. Every champion you've ever admired, every athlete, every leader, every innovator, they've all faced immense pressure. And the difference between those who crumble and those who rise isn't that one had less pressure. It's that one chose to see it differently. They understood that pressure was a sign of growth, a signal that they were pushing beyond the boundaries of what was safe, predictable, and easy. Pressure makes diamonds. It doesn't destroy potential, it reveals it. When you're under pressure, you're being shaped, molded, refined. You're being asked to level up, to think sharper, move faster, decide bolder. The question isn't, how do I escape this pressure? The real question is, how do I use it? Because the truth is, pressure doesn't break people. Resistance doesn't crush potential. Avoidance does. When you avoid pressure, you avoid growth. When you escape the struggle, you escape the opportunity to evolve. You rob yourself of the very force that could turn your ordinary life into an extraordinary one. Every time you feel overwhelmed, every time your heart beats faster, every time that voice in your head whispers, "Can I handle this?" That's the moment life is offering you a gift. It's saying, "Here's your shot. Show me your strength. Prove to yourself what you're capable of." Think about it. The weightlifter grows only by lifting heavier loads. The entrepreneur succeeds only by taking bigger risks. The student learns only by stepping into the unknown. You can't expand your capacity by staying comfortable. Pressure is life's way of saying, "You're ready for more." But here's the truth: most people never realize pressure is not about pain. It's about purpose. It means you care enough to give your best. It means you're in the arena, doing something that matters, carrying a vision, a dream, a responsibility that could change your life and maybe even someone else's. So instead of saying, "Why is this happening to me?" start saying, "Why is this happening for me?" Because it is. Every bit of pressure is preparing you. Every challenge is building your resilience, sharpening your focus, deepening your character. When the world feels heavy, remind yourself, this weight isn't meant to crush you. It's meant to condition you. Pressure is not punishment, it's privilege. You've been chosen for this. You've been trusted with this. And if you lean in, if you embrace it, if you decide to see pressure not as a burden, but as the gateway to your greatness, then you'll discover a power inside you that you didn't even know existed. You'll start to realize that pressure is proof that you're in motion, that you're growing, that you're alive. It's not there to stop you. It's there to show you that you're exactly where you need to be, right on the edge of your next breakthrough. So, don't run from pressure, don't hide from it. Don't wish it away, use it. Let it remind you that you're playing the game at a higher level. Let it fuel your focus, sharpen your decisions, ignite your determination. Because one day, when you look back, you'll realize that the moments that tested you the most were the very moments that transformed you the most. Pressure is a privilege. It's a sign that life believes in your potential. So believe in it too. Embrace it, harness it, and let it turn you into the person you were meant to become. Pressure is not punishment, it's preparation for your next level. When most people encounter pressure, their first instinct is to retreat. They start believing that something is wrong, that life is being unfair, that they are being punished for trying. But what if pressure isn't there to break you, but to build you? What if the moments that feel heaviest are actually the moments that are shaping you into someone stronger, wiser, and more capable than you were yesterday? Pressure is the universe's way of testing how much you really want what you say you want. It's a filter that separates those who wish from those who will. When you feel that tightness in your chest, that uncertainty in your mind, that weight on your shoulders, it's not a sign that you're failing. It's a sign that you're growing. It's the necessary resistance that builds your capacity to handle the success you've been dreaming of. Think about the process of building muscle. Growth doesn't happen in comfort. It happens through resistance, through tension, through pressure. The very thing that feels painful is what activates strength. Life works the same way. Every challenge, every expectation, every deadline that feels too big, every situation that pushes you beyond your limits is actually preparing you for something greater. The discomfort you feel today is crafting the character you'll need for tomorrow. The person you are now might not yet be ready for the dream you're chasing, and that's okay, because the pressure you're under is shaping you into the person who will be. When you ask for a bigger life, you're also asking for bigger pressure. The person who leads a team carries more weight than the one who just follows orders. The entrepreneur who runs a company feels more pressure than the employee who shows up for a paycheck. The athlete playing for a championship feels more pressure than someone playing casually for fun. But that's the price of growth, the privilege of rising higher. Pressure only comes to those who are trusted with responsibility. It's a sign that you've been chosen to carry something valuable, to lead, to make a difference. If you weren't capable, life wouldn't send it your way. Pressure is the ultimate teacher. It reveals where your weaknesses are, not to humiliate you, but to help you strengthen them. It exposes your fears not to scare you, but to invite you to conquer them. It challenges your patience, your focus, your belief, and yourself. Discipline, because all those qualities must be refined before you can operate at a higher level. Every person who has ever achieved greatness has been shaped by pressure. They didn't just face it once, they lived inside it, learned from it, and used it as fuel. Pressure is not a punishment for aiming high. It's the process of transformation that molds ordinary people into extraordinary ones. When you're in the middle of pressure, it's easy to think you're losing control. You start to question yourself, your choices, your worth. But that's because pressure compresses everything: your thoughts, your emotions, your focus, so you can see what truly matters. It strips away distractions and excuses. It forces you to decide who you really are and what you truly stand for. Under pressure, the truth surfaces. You can't fake confidence, you can't pretend to be committed, and you can't hide from your limits. You either evolve or you escape. Those who evolve use pressure as a stepping stone. Those who escape end up running from their own potential. The beauty of pressure is that it doesn't lie, it's honest. It tells you where you stand. It doesn't care about your words or intentions. It responds only to action, resilience, and persistence. Every time you handle pressure better than before, your capacity expands. What once overwhelmed you becomes normal, and what once scared you becomes your strength. That's how you grow into your next level, not by avoiding the storm, but by learning how to stand strong within it. So when pressure comes, don't ask, why me? Ask, what is this preparing me for? Because everything you're enduring is building something within you. It's preparing your mindset to handle abundance, preparing your emotions to handle uncertainty, preparing your spirit to stay grounded even when life gets intense. The same pressure that feels unbearable today will become your foundation tomorrow. Every great leader, every high achiever, every person who's made a lasting impact has walked through moments of crushing pressure. But they understood that pressure was not there to destroy them. It was there to elevate them. It was the tool life used to refine their focus, strengthen their resolve, and prepare them for their next level. Only those who are truly in the game experience real pressure. The ones sitting on the sidelines, the ones who never take a risk, who never put themselves out there, they don't feel it. They watch, they judge, they talk, but they never truly know what it feels like to carry the weight of expectation, to stand in the arena where the outcome isn't guaranteed. Pressure doesn't visit the comfortable, it visits the courageous. It only shows up when you have something to lose, when you've stepped into a position where your actions matter, where your choices create consequences, and where the world is watching to see what you'll do next. That's what separates the dreamers from the doers, the spectators from the players. When you step into the game, whether it's business, sports, leadership, or life, you sign up for pressure. It's the invisible contract that comes with ambition. The more you chase, the more you care, the more you commit, the more pressure you'll feel. And that's how you know you're alive, how you know you're moving towards something meaningful. People who never take a risk live with comfort, but they also live with regret. They never experience the thrill of pressure, the fire of responsibility, or the test of true resilience. They stay safe, but they never grow. Those who are in the game, those who take action, those who dare to lead, they carry pressure because they carry purpose. Pressure is proof of relevance. It means you're doing something that matters enough to create tension, something that demands your best effort, something that could fail, but could also change everything if you win. When you feel pressure, it's because you've stepped into a position where your decisions impact more than just yourself. It means people are counting on you. It means your work is seen. It means you've put your reputation, your heart, and your future on the line for something you believe in. That's not a burden, that's a privilege few ever experience. The more responsibility you hold, the more pressure you'll carry, but it's the kind of weight that builds greatness. Look at any top performer, a world-class athlete, a successful entrepreneur, an artist, a leader. They all know pressure intimately. They've felt the moments where everything is on the line, where one decision could change the course of their life. They've stood on stages, in boardrooms, on fields, under lights, with eyes watching and expectations rising. And in those moments, they didn't run from the pressure, they used it. They allowed it to sharpen their focus, to intensify their energy, to draw out the best within them. Pressure doesn't visit the weak, it visits the ones who have earned the right to play at a higher level. There's a certain pride that comes from feeling pressure, even when it's hard, even when it's uncomfortable. Because deep down, you know it means you're doing something real. It means you've put skin in the game. You've stepped beyond the crowd of talkers and chosen to be a doer. You've entered the zone where performance matters, where effort counts, where results define reality. That's the space where true growth happens, where character is built, where potential turns into power. The reason pressure feels heavy is because it carries meaning. You can't feel it if you're detached, if you're indifferent, if you don't care. You only feel it when your heart is invested, when you want something deeply, when you know what's at stake. Pressure means you're giving your all, and that's something to honor, not fear. It's the invisible evidence that you're stretching yourself beyond the limits that once defined you. It's the silent signal that you're not playing small anymore. You're in the game, competing with your past self, facing real challenges and earning real growth. The people who make history aren't the ones who avoid pressure. They're the ones who walk straight into it. They don't crave comfort. They crave contribution. They don't seek easy victories. They seek meaningful ones. They understand that the very presence of pressure is a sign that they are standing on the edge of expansion. They know that the ones without pressure are usually the ones without purpose. Pressure doesn't chase the timid, it finds those who are brave enough to say, "I'm in." When you step into that mindset, pressure becomes a companion rather than an enemy. You stop resisting it and start respecting it. You begin to see it as a reminder that you're doing something worth doing. Every time you feel it, you can tell yourself, "I'm here because I'm growing. I'm here because I'm creating impact. I'm here because I'm not afraid to try." The absence of pressure might bring comfort, but it also brings stagnation. The presence of pressure brings uncertainty, but it also brings progress. Pressure is the badge of those who show up. It's the silent applause of life saying, "You've stepped into the arena." It's the confirmation that you're part of the few who have chosen to participate rather than spectate. You can't experience real pressure from the sidelines. You only feel it when you decide to play full out, when you take responsibility for your goals, when you care enough to push beyond what's easy. That's the essence of living fully feeling the weight, carrying it with pride, and realizing that the ones who feel the most pressure are the ones who are truly alive in the game. Pressure reveals strength. It doesn't create weakness. When life presses against you, when circumstances tighten and expectations mount, that's not the moment you suddenly become weak. It's the moment your true strength comes to light. Pressure doesn't invent fear, it exposes courage. It doesn't manufacture doubt, it uncovers faith. It's in those intense, defining moments where you're stretched beyond your comfort that you begin to see what's been hiding inside you all along. The reality is, most people don't know how strong they are until pressure gives them no other choice but to find out. Strength isn't built in silence and ease. It's revealed in struggle and resistance. When everything is going smoothly, anyone can appear confident and capable. It's easy to look composed when there's no real challenge in front of you. But true strength isn't tested in comfort. It's tested when life stops cooperating, when plans fall apart, when your back is against the wall and your options seem limited. That's when pressure starts whispering, "What are you made of?" And in that moment, your response defines you. Some people panic and fold, while others rise with a focus and energy they didn't even know existed. Pressure reveals that power. It draws it out of hiding. Think about a lump of coal. On its own, it's dull, ordinary, and unremarkable. But when placed under immense pressure and heat, something magical happens. It transforms into a diamond. The diamond was always there within the coal. It just needed the right pressure to bring it out. That's how human potential works. You already have the strength, the courage, the resilience, but pressure is what activates it. Without pressure, you might never know the depth of your own capability. The struggle doesn't give you strength. It shows you the strength you've been carrying all along. Pressure has a way of stripping away all illusions. It removes the masks, the rehearsed confidence, the fake certainty. It exposes truth. Under pressure, the real you shows up, the one who either gives up or grows stronger. The one who either crumbles or creates solutions. And that's the beauty of it. Pressure doesn't lie. It doesn't flatter. It simply reveals what's already inside. That's why people who consistently face pressure and learn to embrace it become unshakable. They've seen their strength up close. They've learned to trust themselves because they've proven what they can endure. It's easy to misinterpret pressure as a sign of weakness because it brings out discomfort. It brings tension, doubt, and stress. But that's not weakness, that's humanity. Weakness isn't the presence of struggle, it's the absence of persistence. The person who stands tall in pressure isn't the one who feels nothing. It's the one who feels everything and keeps moving anyway. Strength isn't a lack of fear, it's mastery over fear. It's the ability to stay centered when chaos is swirling around you. Pressure doesn't create fear. It simply reveals whether you've learned to channel it or let it control you. The strongest people you know have all faced intense pressure. The reason they seem so composed now is not because life has been easy, but because they've walked through fire and discovered their strength there. They've felt the heat, the confusion, the exhaustion, and kept going. They've failed, adjusted, adapted, and grown. They didn't pray for lighter loads. They developed stronger shoulders. They didn't avoid pressure. They allowed it to expose the inner power that had been dormant within them. Pressure is like a mirror that reflects your current capacity. It shows you where you're solid and where you still need to grow. Every time you confront it, you learn something about yourself. You learn how to breathe under tension, how to think under stress, how to trust yourself when the world seems uncertain. You realize that you're capable of handling far more than you thought. That realization alone builds an unshakable inner confidence, not the kind that depends on circumstances, but the kind that survives them. When you begin to understand that pressure is revealing strength, not weakness, your whole relationship with it changes. You stop fearing it, you start appreciating it. You begin to see pressure as feedback, as a tool that refines your mindset and sharpens your emotional endurance. Every challenge becomes an opportunity to uncover more of your potential. Every stressful moment becomes a test of alignment. Are you reacting from fear or responding from power? Every time you push through, you're teaching yourself that you are stronger than the weight you carry. Pressure brings honesty into your life. It reveals who truly believes in themselves, who can stay calm when the plan falls apart, who can keep going when everything screams quit. It doesn't create new qualities, it reveals existing ones. The person who thrives under pressure isn't superhuman. They've just learned to meet themselves fully in those moments. They've discovered that strength was never about being invincible. It was about being willing. Willing to endure, to adapt, to persist, to keep showing up no matter how hard it gets. That's what pressure does. It uncovers the depth of your will. Every moment of pressure you've faced has been a mirror showing you the truth about your strength. Sometimes it's shown you how resilient you are. Other times it's shown you where you need to grow. Either way, it's always been revealing, never punishing. Pressure doesn't weaken you. It wakes you up to the greatness that's been buried beneath your fears and your doubts. It doesn't build you from scratch. It reminds you of who you already are when everything unnecessary is stripped away. Growth begins where comfort ends. Pressure is the proof of progress. Most people spend their entire lives chasing comfort, trying to stay in control, to avoid anything that feels uncertain or difficult. But the truth is, nothing extraordinary ever comes from comfort. Comfort is a beautiful place, but nothing grows there. The real breakthroughs, the real transformation, happen when you step into discomfort, when you willingly face pressure and let it stretch you beyond what you thought you were capable of. Pressure is life's way of saying you're growing. It's the feedback that tells you you're moving forward, that you've stepped out of the safe zone into the space where potential becomes reality. When you're comfortable, you're repeating patterns. You're doing what you already know, using skills you've already mastered, and thinking within limits you've already defined. There's no tension, no pressure, no challenge, and therefore no growth. But the moment you start to dream bigger, to reach higher, to expect more from yourself, pressure appears. It's not punishment, it's confirmation that you're stretching. Every time you feel discomfort, fear, or uncertainty, it's a signal that you're entering new territory. That feeling of pressure means you're becoming more than who you were yesterday. Growth doesn't feel easy because it's meant to reshape you. It's meant to tear down the parts of you that are small and build the parts that are strong. Pressure introduces you to a version of yourself you've never met. It's the process that forces you to think differently, act courageously, and adapt quickly. You can't expand your life by staying within the lines of familiarity. The muscles of your mind, your character, and your heart grow only through challenge. Just as physical muscles need resistance to grow stronger, your inner strength needs the pressure of uncertainty and struggle to evolve. When you're under pressure, life is giving you the resistance you need to build the capacity for your next level. Without it, you'd remain exactly where you are. Every person who has ever achieved something great has faced moments of intense pressure. The moment before success often feels like breaking. That tension you feel right before a break. Through that's pressure doing its job. It's testing your resilience, your belief, and your commitment. It's asking, how badly do you want this? Are you willing to grow for it? And every time you choose to lean into that pressure instead of avoiding it, you expand your limits. You build new capacity. What once felt impossible becomes normal. That's how growth works. It feels uncomfortable at first, then natural, then effortless. But to reach that stage, you have to be willing to face the pressure that transformation brings. Comfort feels safe, but it's a silent trap. It whispers, "You're fine where you are," while slowly stealing your potential. Pressure, on the other hand, wakes you up. It challenges you to question, to adapt, to evolve. It forces you to dig deeper, to learn, to refine your focus. The discomfort of pressure isn't there to hurt you. It's there to help you grow stronger and wiser. Every time you step out of comfort, you discover a new layer of your own potential. That's why those who embrace pressure keep rising while others stay stuck. They understand that growth isn't supposed to feel easy. It's supposed to feel unfamiliar, sometimes even chaotic, because that's what it takes to stretch into a new version of yourself. Pressure is proof that you're not standing still. It means you're daring to move forward, to take risks, to face challenges that once scared you. If you're feeling pressure, it's a sign that you're evolving. It means you're pushing against your old limitations, rewriting old beliefs, and creating space for something greater. Without pressure, there would be no innovation, no creativity, no progress. Every major advancement, personal or global, was born out of pressure. It's the force that compels change, the energy that transforms potential into power. When you're going through pressure, it's easy to want to escape it, to return to comfort. But that desire to retreat is the mind's way of protecting what's familiar, not what's best. The moment you resist the urge to pull back and instead choose to move through the discomfort, you activate growth. You start to realize that pressure isn't your enemy, it's your evolution in disguise. Each time you endure it, you grow tougher, smarter, more adaptable. You start seeing problems as opportunities, obstacles as lessons, and challenges as gateways to a higher version of yourself. Pressure is the dividing line between potential and progress. Everyone has potential, but only those who face pressure turn it into something real. You don't grow by waiting for confidence to appear. You grow by acting in the presence of pressure. That's where real confidence is born, not from comfort, but from endurance. Every time you survive a difficult moment, your mind remembers. It learns that you can handle it, that you're capable, that you can trust yourself even when things get hard. That belief becomes the foundation for future success. Growth is not a gentle process. It's uncomfortable, messy, and often painful, but it's also the most rewarding experience in life. Pressure is the sign that you're alive, that you're moving, that you're expanding into something greater. When you stop chasing comfort and start welcoming pressure, you begin to evolve at a level most people never reach. You start to live with depth, with purpose, with strength. You begin to see that pressure was never there to stop you. It was always there to prove that you were ready to grow beyond the limits you once accepted as final. Embracing pressure transforms potential into power. Every single person has potential, the raw energy of what could be, the unseen capacity for greatness that lives within. But potential on its own doesn't change the world, and it doesn't change your life. Potential is just possibility, waiting for a spark to ignite it. That spark is pressure. The moments that feel heavy, uncertain, or demanding are the exact moments that awaken the strength, creativity, and resilience buried deep inside. Pressure is the environment where potential stops being theoretical and becomes something real, something powerful, something that moves you forward in ways you never thought possible. Pressure takes what's hidden inside you and brings it to the surface. It's the difference between knowing you could do something and actually doing it. It's the bridge between dreaming and achieving. You can read all the books, visualize all the success, and talk about your goals endlessly, but until you face pressure, you'll never know how much power you truly possess. Pressure activates that dormant potential and demands that you use it. It forces you to rise, to think faster, to act with courage, and to perform with precision. Without it, talent stays untapped and dreams stay unrealized. Every great success story begins with someone under pressure. A leader facing impossible odds, an athlete standing at the edge of defeat, an artist staring at a blank canvas. An entrepreneur risking everything, these are the moments when pressure becomes the catalyst for transformation. When the stakes are high and comfort is gone, the mind shifts. The excuses fade, the hesitation disappears, and a new level of energy takes over. That's when potential turns into power. It's in the tension, the uncertainty, the fight, that people discover who they really are. Pressure doesn't just test you, it awakens you. There's a reason why people who have faced adversity often rise to greatness. It's not because they're special, it's because they've learned to channel pressure. They've turned obstacles into opportunities and fear into fuel. They've realized that pressure isn't there to crush them, it's there to focus them. It strips away the unnecessary and directs all your energy toward what matters most. It's in those high pressure moments that creativity sharpens, instinct strengthens, and your willpower becomes unstoppable. The people who succeed at the highest levels aren't the ones who avoid pressure. They're the ones who have learned how to harness it and convert it into strength. Pressure demands that you make choices. It forces you to decide whether you'll retreat into fear or rise into growth. It exposes what you believe about yourself. When you're under pressure, you can't fake confidence. You either believe in your ability or you don't. And if you don't, pressure will show you exactly where to grow. It's the ultimate feedback system. Every challenge you face is a message saying there's more inside you. Every stressful situation is an invitation to evolve. The moment you stop resisting pressure and start embracing it, you unlock a part of yourself that's been waiting to lead. When you embrace pressure, something shifts inside you. You stop seeing it as a burden and start recognizing it as an opportunity. You realize that every ounce of discomfort is energy that can either weigh you down or lift you up. The difference is how you use it. Pressure becomes power when you learn to breathe through it, when you stop fighting it and start flowing with it. You start to recognize that the situations that challenge you the most are the ones designed to prepare you for more. They're not setbacks, they're setups for strength. Potential doesn't grow in silence. It grows through experience, through the tests, the tension, the fire of responsibility. The harder the challenge, the greater the growth. Every time you face pressure and come out stronger, you build momentum. That momentum turns into confidence. That confidence turns into clarity. And that clarity turns into power. The very situations you once dreaded become the very experiences that define your character. You begin to crave challenge because you understand that it's the only way to stretch into your full capacity. The truth is, power is born in the moments that feel the most uncomfortable. When you're pressed for time, when everything is on the line, when there's no room for doubt, that's when your potential stops being potential. It becomes action, movement, strength. Pressure refines you. It burns away laziness, fear, and hesitation until all that's left is focus and determination. And once you've tasted that level of focus, once you've seen what you're capable of under pressure, you stop underestimating yourself. You realize that power was never something outside of you, it was always within, waiting for pressure to call it out. Every time you choose to embrace pressure instead of running from it, you evolve. You move from wishing to doing, from imagining to becoming. You step into a version of yourself that can handle more, create more, lead more, and give more. Potential is the promise, pressure is the process. And when you embrace that process, you turn every challenge into fuel, every obstacle into opportunity, and every ounce of pressure into personal power. That's how ordinary people become unstoppable forces, not by avoiding pressure, but by allowing it to transform their potential into power.